Right then, so we're going to do an offside front wheel bearing on this BMW. Never done one before, so let's get going. Well, I've never done one of these, so brake caliper off at least, disc off. Apparently it is an unboltable one, which it is, and we'll see how much more things we've got to undo. I think I'm probably going to undo, take the caliper off and all the brake system. The time it takes. I've unclipped the ABS wiring. Eight mm Allen key on the caliper slide pins. They were fairly loose. Slide pins don't go out all the way if they're full of dirt and like that anyway. So usually they're a flat bladed screwdriver. Push the pins back out of the sliders. Then might just have to release the piston a little bit. So it's where it is, without dropping it like I just did. That there. Probably should have had this at the same time instead of just pads, because this looks a bit thin. But take the carrier off. Shallow. See? You can come off. Tell you what we are going to do. I'm going to pop the little clip for the brake pipe. Which is a horseshoe clip like that. Just don't forget it on build up. So that then makes my pipe longer. I can set it down on the floor. I don't have to worry about that. That is an Allen key. Flat bladed screwdriver in the disc. If you're doing it on the floor, once you've got it loose, little gun. Now some copper grease on that. And stick a bolt back in it. If you want to use a lump hammer, use a block of wood or a rubber block behind the disc. That way you're not damaging the disc and you can pull it off without it being nice. So don't think I can get to you, whether I undo you. Shiny new one. Yeah. Sounds scratchy, stiff. That feels nice. No noises. WD Mason spray on the bolts. We want to use splines, and should be 12mm spline. Should be 12mm. Oh, wounded. It's a Torx one. The new bolts that come with the kit are spline, and the ones that hold this in are a T60, believe it or not. I'd be screwed if that was you can come free. Never done one of these before, so it's a learning time for me. Old bolt. As you can see, that one's a Torx T60. It is going to be a tight squeeze where the shock absorber is. So you're going to need a deep T60. I got this one off eBay. There's a Bergen set. So I've got one bolt left to do. And that is the deep T60 I was on about that you need for doing that bolt. comes quite close to the shocker. You can get the other one with a normal T60. So, got 3 bolts out, as you can see. There we go. I don't need to undo that centre control arm. All I have to do is turn the steering wheel. So if you can see, like that, all I should have to do now is put that in there, and I think back. There we go. So you're gonna need, if you're on Torx bolts like this one was, this is a BMW 114i on a 13 plate. A bit more light in here. Sorry about the dodgy camera action. I've still got an ST on my ramp. It's partially doing me head in. And a mini for a timing chain that I keep getting rained on every time I come to do it. So I might do a little bit more on it tonight. So that means all our bolts are out. So let's grab you back round here. Move you there. Just literally like that. Just literally. So all you need to be careful of then is that ABS sensor. Leave the ABS sensor where it is. I spoke too soon now, by the way. But that was, make sure you hit. So you've got that little tab, there's got rust on it, which will locate in that tab there. Need to hit that off that way so you don't come into contact with the ABS sensor. I've got no damage on mine, so we're good about that. We'll clean that up before put it back together anyway with some brake cleaner. Because this is such a new, well, because it's a BMW, I'm not going to use copper grease around here like I normally would. On normal wheel bearings, well, normal ABS sensors in that area. Mainly because I think this one has something to do with the stop-start system on the car. I don't want it to start messing about, so we'll use some aluminium grease on this one, I think. Brake cleaner. Clean you out. So it literally looks like that inside. ABS sensor, make sure you don't damage it. It'd be best if you hit the wheel bearing off that way rather than that way, because I don't want to be responsible for you damaging ABS sensors. So if you knock it off that way, you're coming away from the sensor. If I was to knock that way, which is what I did, well, from the top I think I did more on an angle, probably about here, knocked away from the sensor. There's no touch marks on it, so I've been quite lucky there. As long as most of that scaling is off there, the ABS sensor will fit. Put some new batteries in the camera, change my gloves. Let's have a look at these new bolts. See what the score is with these. If they are any good. Look alright. They've got the oil on them. We are same thread pitch, same diameter here. But I remember from doing Volkswagens that splines are a pain in the arse when they get full of rust and crap, so I don't know whether to reuse the old bolts. Tell you what, we'll put the splines on and it should be alright, because it's new bolts, and then I'm happy it's got new ones in. So yeah, don't worry, I've not got my grease. Right, that's all going nice. I'll just put copper grease on the bolt threads. So we've got a smear of aluminium grease all the way around there. Put you on. Nice that now. So new bolts, copper grease on the threads. Copper grease. So I get moaned at a lot. Well, they all take the piss because I use loads of copper grease, pretty much everything. But I go back to my days of working on every make and models, and rust is not your friend whatsoever. The only thing I might run into, oh, I have got deep splines actually, because I brought them with me, because I did an Audi timing belt and water pump, an Audi TT, and you had to take the front bumper off, I think it was, or something along the lines of that. There go in nice. One. Yeah, a mixture of aluminium grease and copper grease on them, so it'll be alright. It is an aluminium housing, I think, or magnesium, whatever you want to call it, something along the lines of that. Should have, oh, there I've not, oh, wounded. Wounded. Right, so a long set only goes to 10. So it may cause an issue screwing it in, I don't know yet. Might have to feed it in by hand, because I did crack it off with the stubby one. I think we are located. Yeah, we are located, so what I was saying was, probably I have to look a torque specification up on these. I think. think, looking up torque specs on something like this, it's probably a better way of doing it. I've also put front and rear wiper blades on it also, like a brand new one. Right, I've decided 80 Newton meters on these. So done them two side ones. Worst case scenario, I might have to use the old bolt for the other. That's clicking, that'll do. Them three are tight anyway. Just check that one that's there. Yep. Yeah, in there. Right, so it will go in, but you could be better with a long spline for that. Just to get past the shocker. So that's FT. 80 feels tight, so yeah. Desk. So there's my desk. Just want that scaling off. At least most of it. Probably not. It's probably going to be high grounding. Fair enough. Copper grease it is then. Copper grease. Yeah. Right, copper grease on the threads of that one. My old retainer. Like that. Make sure the disc is sitting right. Don't need to go any more on that. Brake carrier, may as well while you come this far, give it a clean up and a free off on this side. Then take seconds. Wire wheel, and we want copper grease on the bolts. 18, buzz gun, third setting. Check for good measure on the old 1/2 inch bar. Yep. Tight. Then brake pad, copper grease, sliding points. Like that. Chuck that back in. Then I want you over you on somewhere. You. There we go. That'll do for that. Top, shut there. Pad, copper grease on the contact areas. I can shut you. See what I mean about it? Probably should have had a set of discs. See the wear on the pad? Usually what happens when garages try to make sales to people, because people think garages are trying to rip them off, when in matter of fact they're trying to fix the car. You can go like that. So this car technically should have had this at the same time, because it's just stupid that it's just had a set of pads. Don't forget your horseshoe clip. No thingies on it. Hammer. Said hammer. Do it with a pair of slip jaw pliers. Look down, bend it back where it was. Plug your ABS wire back in its housing areas. Like that. And then put the sliding pins back in. Sliding pins, these I usually put copper grease there. Bit on the threads. Further up you can get then. Looks like that. Just slides nice. No messing about. So my battery is orange on my ratchet. Probably tight where it's at now. So lower it down. I'm going to start the wheel up to 110 Newton meters and then go for road test. So any questions, let me know. If you like the content, please leave me a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel. That's about it really. Yeah, I'm doing that timing chain on that Mini, so hopefully I can get the videos done on that. Get a video edited on this, put it up, and then we'll get the ST done at some point. So yeah, thanks for watching.